Okay.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
When you get a sec, check out my buddy Matthew Spear over there at the Dumb Show. Dumbshow.com. Get to see people like yours truly right here. Maybe that's a reason for you to not check it out. But check it out anyway. There's a lot of people better than me on there that a lot better stories. But check them out, dumbshow.com. Matt, take care, buddy. God bless you, everyone.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, I want to apologize to the people over on X, not tonight. Liv, would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Would you copy the Facebook link, please, and then go and just paste it onto the Dumb Show page, please?
I sure will.
Thank you. Sorry, people on X. It's sometimes errors happen, but we are on Instagram, Facebook. We've got you on Rumble, over on Spreely TV, and the YouTube as well. The YouTube. It's kind of like, just lose the. Facebook. It's simpler. Name the movie. No? Okay. Tonight, May 7th, we have Jeremy Mitchell in the house. Very excited to do that. We will do an intro. Donations are open tonight. Feel free to give as much as you want, but also want you to go over to Jeremy's webpage. He's got a book. And also, we want to go over to Battle Line Tactical, which is Chris Peranto, and Jeremy's gig. He's going to tell you all about it. We're going to go through a little bit of history, tell you who Jeremy is and why he's important, and embarrass him a little bit. And then we've got some questions for him, and then we'll go into our regular show of just covering everyday news and current events. The shirt and jackets that you guys saw are the American 250. That's sold out first night we showed it. If you want to go get one, go over to thedumbshow.com, and then you can also pick up the Red Friday jacket if you want to. Thanks for doing that, and let's get to it. We've got a busy show to do, so we might as well. There's Jeremy's right down there. We're going to go ahead and disappear him, and we're going to go into the intro. We do this every guest. Every guest gets this treatment, and Jeremy is none different. This, to be honest with you, was co-written by a anonymous person who used Proton. So it came into my account, and I had to do a little verification to make sure it's real. So I co-wrote this and cleaned it up so Jeremy would have less of an idea of who this might be. So there's a little bit of me, a little bit of him, and a whole lot of truth. So here it is. Most people who see Jeremy Mitchell on podcasts or around Battleline Tactical get introduced to the version of him he wants the public to see. The prankster, the sarcastic guy, the self-deprecating dumb MP, stands for military police, who jokes his way through stories and acts like he just accidentally stumbled into every success he's ever had. That image is intentional. It is also wildly incomplete. Inside military circles, especially within the Alabama State Military Department, Jeremy became a legend for two completely different reasons. The first is the side everybody notices immediately. Jeremy is the guy who once secretly hung his own official headshot on the wall of generals inside a military building lobby and left it there for weeks because he carried himself with such confidence nobody questioned it. When he retired in 2017, he hid ridiculous photos of himself inside printers, copiers, ceiling tiles, and random places across multiple facilities. Nearly a decade later, people are still discovering them. He cultivated the role of class clown so well that most people never realized they were standing next to one of the sharpest tactical and analytical minds in the room. Behind the humor is a man deeply respected in protection programs, anti-terrorism, operational security, physical security, intelligence oversight, and high-level military planning. Jeremy helped build the systems and tools that became so effective they were adopted far beyond his own state. He played major roles in the designing secure facilities, writing regulations, building SOPs, and developing operational systems still used today. While he jokes about dyslexia and struggling through school, people who worked beside him understood very quickly that the man thinks several moves ahead of almost everyone around him. What makes Jeremy unique is that he never tells stories where he looks like the hero. In fact, if a conversation starts heading that direction, he will usually redirect attention to someone else immediately. There is one story in particular that perfectly explains who he really is. During an emergency scene involving a severely injured little girl, Jeremy spent over an hour kneeling in a massive bed of fire ants while trying to keep her calm and conscious. The ants covered his legs, arms, chest, and back, biting him relentlessly, but he never moved because he did not want to frighten her further. By the end, his body was covered in bites. At one point, he even gave away his own boots to a nurse who had lost hers, running to help because the pavement had become too hot for her to stand on. When others later tried nominating Jeremy for one of Alabama's highest honors, the Governor's Cross, he reportedly worked behind the scenes to stop the nomination and instead pushed for another soldier involved in the rescue to receive recognition. That is who Jeremy Mitchell is at his core. Not the loudest guy in the room. Not someone chasing medals or praise, a man who quietly carries burdens, protects people, and then laughs the attention away before anyone notices what he actually did. Mr. Jeremy Mitchell, I think we just closed the show with that, but good luck following that up, Bubba. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, Jeremy. Dude, real quick, Jeremy has worked behind the scenes to help get Jessica Lynch here. He facilitated Tonto with Olivia and Jessica Lynch. He has just become a fast friend of the show just from his interactions in chat. So I felt we should get him on here, and here he is. So welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, brother.
Oh, well, thank you both for having me, and man, y'all do some dirt digging. Wow.
We're not even done yet.
You're not done yet. Oh Lord. When you told me you had something, I wasn't expecting those two things, especially. Oh yeah. But I know we'll get into that later. I don't.
Let's get into it now. Your reaction to it. I mean, like, I understand Tonto was the same way. When I called him a hero, I saw him flinch, and I slapped him for it. It's the only time in the interview that I actually jumped on him and was like, "Dude, sorry, you're gonna deal with it." But you've not only been in some of the same fields that I worked in, but the extensive amount of work you've done is absolutely incredible. How much of that is hyperbole and nonsense, and how much of it is real? Because the way you demonstrate yourself, I don't find it hard to believe. Would love to get that from you.
Yeah, well, when it comes to the prankster side and everything, yeah, that's 100% dead on. I mean, that's just who I am. And kind of like Chris says, I mean, when things are starting to get tense and people are starting to get overworked or too serious, you kind of got to, remind them that we're alive, and, it's okay to laugh and have fun. And on the hero side of things, I would say that, I mean, just like Chris says, I mean, we just show up to work, and when situations happen, and there's been plenty of other people out there that, come across other hard situations or accidents or whatever. I mean, people just step up when they step up. So it's just going to work, and hearing those two things together, there's 4 people I know I'm going to make a phone call to tomorrow. So
I did. So the fact that you know it's 4, that this person was absolutely convinced when I told these stories, you would know right who it is. So I did a very good job of cloaking and disguising their words with enough, incognito and wordsmithing for you not to know. And now they all have plausible deniability because they're all going to blame each other. So
yeah, and that's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, because they're the same way, And
Yep.
I remember that accident, and I can't remember the sergeant's last name. I know his first name was Michael, and I know that he was with the 20th Special Forces Group and a medic with the 20th Special Forces Group. And yeah, I remember that, because whenever they came to me and showed me his sworn statement that he wrote about it, and they said, hey, this is, the way it's going to move forward with, trying to get an award and all this other stuff. I was like, look, if y'all can put anybody for an award, put him in, because that dude was running across the street. He was communicating with everybody. He was giving me directions, and everybody who knows about that talks about the ant bites. But I mean, come on now, there weren't that many of them. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, as far as I know, that little girl lived, which I think she would probably be 20 something today.
Where were we at?
Where was I at?
Yeah. Where did all this take place?
I was going down to Mobile on I-65. I don't remember the exit number or anything, but I remember I just saw cars pull. I mean, I remember seeing a car flip and other cars just pulling off and stopping, and I stopped. And then that's when I met up with he was in civilian clothes. I didn't realize who he was at the time, but he's like, hey, there's a little girl missing. So, we started like walking around, combing the side of the road, trying to find her and everything. And she was like, if we were going south, the car flipped into the median. And, I mean, it was a pretty large median. It's about a football field's width wide. Right. And she was all the way across the northbound lane down in a ditch, laying on an ant bed. And me and a truck driver found her, and he went to grab her. And I was like, no, stop. He's like, we don't know what's wrong with her first.
Right.
So we were evaluating that situation, and that's when dude come running down the hill, because we yelled out, we found her. And, he was giving me instructions on what to do, like, hey, do this, do that. And then the boot thing. Oh, wow. That kind of lets me know who it was. But
he said sandals, not boot.
well, she was wearing sandals, and when she was running, because she stopped on the southbound lane and she ran all the way across, and she lost her sandals. And this was like, I mean, it was pretty hot, that day. So she was standing there, and she was kind of, her feet were burning, and she was stepping in thorns and stuff down in the hill. And so I just, took my boots off and said, "Hey, here you go." And we got the girl up to the side of the road, and after we stabilized her neck, and I think we used a towel or something. I used my blouse to cover her up and everything, because she was being bitten by, she was exposed and being bitten by ants, but also her shirt came off. So I just covered her up for decency and everything.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. That was a crazy day, because I was actually late I was going down for a training event down in Mobile, at the armory down there, and I showed up late, and there's a major that I'm good friends with. He looked at me and says, "Why are you late?" And he looked at my uniform, and I was like, it was covered in blood and everything. And he's like, "You okay?" I was like, "I just need a uniform, man." So changed into uniform, and then we continued training. And then, like, a few months later, all of a sudden they come to me and had the sworn statement, and they're like, "Hey, here," and the rest of the story.
Yeah, I do. So there's a couple things I've got to, I know, but I'm going to ask anyway. So the two nicknames that I found, and you've got, my God, man, you've got plenty. But the two that stood out the most that I wanted to ask about was one of the nicknames, Spell Check. And I know the etymology of that. I know where it came from, but it's a great story, and I'd love for you to tell them. And then Voodoo Master also is the are the nicknames. So I'd love to get your tell me Spell Check, and then Voodoo Master, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So yes, Chris gave me Spell Check, and mainly because I just kept screwing up stuff. I'd send him and his wife Tanya some emails, and updating stuff on the site or posting something on social media or something. And as soon as I post something on social media, in fact, when Ian was doing Battle Line Podcast, I was posting stuff for Battle Line Podcast also. And I get a text from Chris and Ian instantly, and they would sit there and like text me like, "Dude, what the hell's wrong with you?" It's like, "That's not how you spell that word." And it's like, I was like, "Okay, I'll go fix it." And finally, Chris just started calling me Spell Check after that, and it just stuck. And it was appropriate, because even today I'll screw stuff up. Even if I use AI, I make AI break. It's just like, what are you trying to say? But
I love it.
But Spell Check before that, there's a couple of people call me the Jerk, and they call me the Jerk because, like, Bad Rob calls me Jerk, but that's because I tell the truth. Yeah, I tell the truth, and everybody's like, "You're being a jerk." I was like, "I'm just telling the truth." But the Voodoo Master thing, that was something that was coming out early on. Because of some of the stuff that I was doing behind the scenes to fix some broken stuff on Chris's social media, and different things behind the scene that I could tell you offline about those.
Right.
But I finally said, "No, we got to do something different," because I'm telling you, dude, I mean, I'm a goofball. I'm stupid. There's I was like, you got to find something that fits better than makes it sound like I'm cooler than I am, because that's not who I am. But yeah, that's where those came from. So
outstanding.
Like a kitty cat, by the way.
She's cool. She's beautiful. She's what is she? Himalayan what?
She's a Norwegian forest cat.
Yeah, whatever. Himalayan.
She's 7.5 pounds of fluff is what she is.
Oh, she's from Norwegia. So Norwegia, Norwegia. It's a wonderful place. So she's
Jenny. She's the podcast cat.
Yes, and she doesn't stop.
My daughter, my oldest daughter would love her. So my youngest is a dog girl.
You'll probably see the dog later on. She'll come in and say hi later.
Right.
So let's do this. Let's go through just a little bit of history, and then we can get to the fun stuff. So military service, 2000. You let me know if I've not done a thorough job on your dossier. Okay.
I was about to say, you got some good dirt so far, so you're probably gonna be spot on.
All right. Well, you tell me where I'm wrong. Cool.
Right.
Military service, 2000 to 2017. Enlisted in the Alabama Army National Guard in 2000 Jan. So January 00. as a 31 Bravo military police soldier. Held a TSSCI and served in demanding roles at the Alabama National Guard Joint Forces headquarters in JFHQ, including physical security, PSS, specialist, Army Protection Program Manager, Directorate of Military Support, and DOMS, OPSEC NCO, Intelligence Oversight NCO, Force Protection Representative, JOC in Joint Operations Center, Knowledge Manager to the Alabama State Military Department of Domestic Operations Group. Medically retired in 2017 after an on-duty injury caused permanent nerve damage in his left arm. Things that you did and were involved in: post 9/11 Homeland Security Force Protection from 01-02. Activated shortly after the attack, supported vulnerable areas security, and provided protection during 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Is that true?
Yes.
Holy shit, man. Guantanamo Bay, Gitmo. You weren't doing the Abby grab ass type stuff. No? Okay. Good.
No.
I know. I was just joking.
Interesting story about all that, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. You got to tell me the story afterwards. Camp Delta, Operation Enduring Freedom 0304. So in EIF, served as block NCOIC, Initial Reaction Force IRF team leader, block guard, developed innovative cell search techniques adopted into official SOPs. Not going to read that part. Really, sometime. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Iraqi, so OIF Operation Iraqi Freedom Task Force 382, Camp Ashraf. 2006 to 7, protected Iranian opposition group, the Mojahedin. Mojahedin al-Qaik.
Yeah.
And PMOI members granted protect. How was my pronunciation? I'm rusty. Was I bad?
You're talking about Southern Alabama, boy. You pronounce it better than me, so
Okay.
I just call him the neck.
Roles included team leader for platoon sergeant, PSD sergeant of the guard for large camp intelligence checkpoint, PSD missions, camp operations under volatile conditions, domestic support, multiple response Hurricane Katrina, 2010 tornadoes, winter storms, Taskard Frago, generators, and used in-state operations. Awards. Let's see if I get your salad correct. Bronze Star Medal, Iraq. Meritorious Service Medal, multiple Army Commendation and Achievement Medals, Iraqi Campaign Medal, Global War and Terrorism Medals, Humanitarian Service Medal, Expert Rifle Badge, and Pistol Bar, and several state awards. Civilian career and work is with Tonto in Battle Line Tactical. And you developed ones drills and adapt, which you'll talk about. Dude, it's a freaking resume, brother. That's how accurate. We doing okay on all that?
The only one was the Bronze Star. I don't, unless they gave me something I don't recognize. But no, I think I don't got a Bronze Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take out my guy. So
let me say this. I've been told that there was 2 awards that were issued after I retired, but I don't check on them, so I don't know. I mean,
brother,
but
I'm almost 100% confident you have a Bronze Star.
Oh, well, I have to make some phone calls and find. I can add that.
You might want to look at your service jacket and take a look, because my sources are pretty amazing. In fact, some of this shit I couldn't even read, so because I know well enough not to, brother. How I know Olivia and I've got a ton of stuff. What was it that drew you to this? I mean, boy from Alabama, backwoods, growing up hunting and eating squirrel. I mean, is that what it is? And then decided to join the military. What was it that put you in this mindset to join the military?
I got married, collected bills, and needed money. That was pretty much it. And it was prior 9/11 and or before 9/11, yeah. And I ran into this recruiter when I was laying carpet. I was actually laying carpet for a living. And across the way, there was this recruiting office, and I walked in there just to get a pamphlet or something. And this recruiter, Eddie Thornton, me and him are still good friends. Eddie Thornton, he started trying to recruit me, and I was like, yeah, tell me. He's like, hey, 1 week a month, 2 weeks a year. And I mean, there was no wars going on or anything like that, you know?
Right.
And I was like, heck yeah, all I got to do is hang out. And he's like, yeah. And he talked about sign-on bonus and everything. I was like, let's do this, you know. And so he took me to go do the ASVAB and did the ASVAB. And he said, well, you're not dumb enough to be a infantryman, and you're just smart enough to be an MP, but that's about it.
So you got a 51.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what the score was? 51? I think
I don't know.
Listen, that's not bad, dude. 51 gets you into at least where you're not being a cook or you're not a supply clerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
right.
I learned way early on. I was like, never let anybody know exactly what you can do, because then they expect way more of you.
That's right.
So when I took the test, I was just like, CAB, CAB, CAB.
Yeah. When in doubt, Charlie out.
Right. Exactly. And so went to basic training for military police at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri in 2000. Graduated, or not graduated, but completed in I think it was February 8th, 2001 is when I got out of basic, because I did the early entry program.
Delayed entry, DEP, yeah.
Delayed entry, yeah. And so I got out and just did a couple of weekends, and that we were getting ready for a 2-week training. And I was actually stopped laying carpet, and I was a security guard at a hospital in Montgomery, Alabama, Baptist Hospital. And then, somebody come running down the hallway talking about an airplane hit the Pentagon. I was like, what? And then I remember somebody said an airplane hit the tower, and I was like, no, ma'am, it's the tower. She goes, no, they hit the Pentagon too. And because I was doing patrols around the hospital, wasn't watching TV. And finally I got down in front of a TV, and I was just like, oh, okay, so this is happening, And then got the phone call. They actually, this is way before cell phones everybody had one, And right, so they called my work, and they said, hey, we need him to come in. And I showed up at the armory, and I lived right down the road from the armory, which was weird. And they said, we need you to go home, get all your stuff, and come back here. And we sat around the armory for a couple of days, and then they said, all right, go home. We'll call you, because we got some stuff coming down the pike, because all the missions were just kind of,
just coming in.
Right. Right. And then that's when we entered into the force protection phase, and we were guarding armories and, assisting Gunter Air Force Base as needed, Gunter and Maxwell, and of course other portions of the state and everything.
How are those watches? Those 12 hours straight? Just
12. Whew.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So you're not doing 12 on, 12 off. Right. So were you guys just look at Saboteur watch and watching outer perimeter shit like that? Okay.
Yeah, that and just control points and stuff like that. Which if you ask anybody from that time, civilian wise or whatever, driving past the Joint Force headquarters in Montgomery and seeing Humvees with 50 cals and Mark 19s just following their cars going down the road,
Yep.
It was a weird time, but yeah.
We didn't know where it was coming from, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, in fact, at that time they were still trying to figure out exactly who it was. And I think that's about the time they started moving into Afghanistan, and we weren't even looking at Iraq yet. But again, we stayed, ever since 9/11 happened, I was always in a uniform in one shape, form, or fashion or the other, There was never a time that, I wasn't doing something either on the guard side or Title 10, Title 32, or dual service as a GS. I came in at a GS 5 and ended up leaving at a GS 9. So, yeah.
Sorry.
So
if I weird you out, I'm not a stalker.
No. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's a GS 9, like step 10 or 11 or something like that. But
yep.
Yeah. So and then the Winter Olympics thing, went to that. That was cool because there was a couple little, nothing real big about that. There was a lot of concern. The biggest thing that happened while I was there because we were there for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was like a riot broke out downtown next to the Bud Light tent or the Budweiser tent. And me and like 3 guys that were coming back from that, because we were actually kind of on leave down there. They give us a little bit of time to go and experience everything. And I shouldn't say leave, but they let us off to go experience that.
Yeah.
We actually had to fight our way back to, and when I say fight, I'm talking about like push, punch, and stuff like that to get back to where we were staying at. And but yeah, that was a fun time. Cold.
Crazy.
I hate cold weather. I hate cold weather.
Utah gets a little chilly.
Did you get to see Foo Fighters at the Olympics? I remember watching them.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't. No. That's one of those nights I was standing because my main shift was at night, so I was standing there at night with every bit of winter clothing and issued equipment I could have, and I was still cold. Like if one little finger was hanging out, it would get cold, and the rest of my body would just say, "Hey, we're freezing too."
Sound like my wife.
No. That's your daughter. I'm okay with the cold.
Yeah.
I grew up in it. I'm a northern Montana girl, so
this is the woman this is the woman who puts on the heat
and then not winter.
Puts on the heat in summer, please.
But
okay.
I'm okay.
But we'll go with that. All right. So pretty long involved career. So first of all, people want to find your book. Tell them about your book, and you guys can go over to tantosgearlocker.com. It'll lead you to the promised land. I mean, you can go down a wormhole. They're all connected. But you can talk about Battle Line if you want to and anything else. And then we'll save some of these questions and get an embarrassing story about Tonto. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the book is called, and everybody's asked me how to say it, but it's Psychantasmorgic. Right, and it's play on the words of psychology and Phantasmorgic, which Phantasmorgic is the very first animated cartoon character that was ever animated, but also with a human interaction also. So it broke all the things, and it was the first one to do it. So I actually adopted that for some of the PSYOP stuff that I would incorporate into one's course and stuff like that, but that's a whole other story. But so Psychantasmorgic, and the whole book, which I got one right here, so I can hold it up.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah. But and it's available on Amazon and all that. But it's pretty much just stuff that I've learned and stuff that I've adapted to training and everything. None of it's like new groundbreaking stuff. It's just kind of incorporated in a way that it's in one place, because a lot of the stuff in that book, you have to go look at multiple different resources. So I just kind of cherry picked that stuff, put my little twist on how to adapt that into training, and also how to deal with people like shady car salesmen and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's just a way to, if you learn how to do it or learn what's being done, then you're going to be able to notice when people are trying to manipulate you and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I wrote that one. And there's actually a second one that I wrote called Draw a Pig, and I'll tell you everything about you. I don't know, because you used to be in the Intel stuff, so I know you might know what I'm talking about. But that one right there, Draw a Pig, right?
Yep.
And it's pretty much just how to take somebody's doodles on a page and how they write, the angle of their writing and everything like that. And you can build a personality profile for who they are in that moment. It's not like their overall personality. It's just who they are in that moment. And then you can kind of decide how you want to approach your interrogation or your interview, as they say.
That'd be a very interesting read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you to them, which I'm gonna kick Heath and his nougats, because he was supposed to send you some of Jessica's hats. But he did go on vacation with his family, so
it's unacceptable. Keith, get your fucking priorities straight.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Beep, you forgot to beep yourself.
Oh yeah. There, I forgot to beat myself. Sorry.
You get so many, all right.
So I have a couple questions, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
So were you in Gitmo? Were you doing interrogation?
No. In Guantanamo Bay, I was a specialist at that time, and I was what's called a block guard. But also, when you say block guard, there's multiple different jobs you do, and one of them is you take detainees from their cell to, it's like an escort. So you take them to interrogation, and sometimes you're the guard in the interrogation room. So that was always the fun part for me. Which I can tell you that Aubrey Grave happened. All that came out while I was down there in Guantanamo Bay, and not when me and the guys were sitting around our living area and we were watching this come out on the news, we were just like, what the hell? How can they get away with that?
Where the hell was that? Where the hell did this happen?
Right.
Why weren't we invited to this party? What the hell's wrong with people? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, a riot breaks out if we forget to give these guys a spoon, man.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, that all the interrogators from whatever agency it was part of, I mean, because you named 3 letters and that agency was down there.
Oh yeah.
But whenever they did it, even when we were watching what was called or considered advanced interrogation stuff, all those guys and gals were professional. If they were doing anything advanced, which there was no waterboarding or anything like that, but if they were doing something advanced, they would try it on each other first, right? So they had to know where that breaking point was, what that pushing point was, what it was too far, stuff like that. And they were all professionals, and that's where I kind of got hooked on this whole concept of doing interrogations, interviews, but also not how to attack the brain, but how to attack the mind, because that's 2 different things.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. So I got hooked on it, and there was this one of these guys, and every time I saw him come through the gate, he always had a different ID from a different agency, so I never knew who he worked with.
He didn't work for any of them except for the one he didn't show you, right?
Right, exactly. Probably more than likely, and his name was always slightly different, But there was one time when we were doing he was doing an he was actually overseeing it, and there was I kind of pulled, he pulled me aside, and I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm interested in this. How do I get into this? And then he kind of gave me some, like, hey, here's the path you want to follow, And I said, what agency does that lead me to? And he goes, any of them. And I was like, I was trying to dig from him, but I mean, it's like me trying to dig. I mean, I was talking to a professional, so he knew what I was trying to do.
Correct.
But
I was going to ask you if that's where you were recruited into contracting, is because that would have been a prime optimal spot, because I guarantee it was a revolving door for every single agency. So I was wondering if that was kind of where you got the bug, and either you get bit or somebody bites you, so.
Oh yeah.
So do you think, is that where it kind of hit for you?
Oh yeah.
That time?
Yeah. Okay. It was that got me, because it was a realm of stuff that I didn't truly understand at the time. And, because, I mean, there's only so much you can learn about, being an MP and, doing combat operations and stuff like that. And once you kind of learn it, you kind of just shift, and you're like, what's next? And then when I saw these guys, and it was how deep the rabbit hole went with those guys, I was just like, yeah.
Were you ever at Camp Anaconda?
No, I was not at Anaconda, but I went through Anaconda a lot, because it was kind of like the hub because we were up in Ashraf, and I can talk about that now because it's no longer classified.
Right.
But it was actually on the news whenever we abandoned the site. But the Anaconda was like our hub to get all our stuff done. If you need R&R, where you couldn't go home, but you needed a break from what was going on where we were at, and but also any kind of medical support. Plus, we'd have to take some of and they were all refugees, not detainees. But if we had to take anybody down there, so yeah, I've been to Anaconda, did a lot of stuff in Anaconda, but I was not stationed at Anaconda.
Okay. Both books we are putting in the link for you guys on Amazon. Olivia did a little bit of research and picked them up. Want to get into a question. So you spent years in OPSEC and operational security. It's something I talk about all the time. When I had Eli Crane on the show, he's State Representative District 1 from Arizona, SEAL Team 3, and other soft guys and intel guys on the show over the years. You take a look at force doctrine, you take a look at intelligence oversight, you take a look at operational security. Most people don't know what the hell it means. When you look at us, 9/11 happened because those were abysmal failures. We started relying on electronic intelligence, radar, satellite intelligence, and we gave up in the human game. And a lot of that had to do with Clinton. So obviously huge vulnerability. Right now, when it comes to operational security, how do you where do you think the United States sits compared to 2001 and beyond? Do you feel we're in a better place now, or do you feel that we're resting again on our laurels and going to get caught with our pants down again?
Well, let's say 9/11. We were on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like zero operation security, and 10 being like the best operation security, check all the blocks kind of stuff, right? I'd say before 9/11, we were probably sitting at a 2. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
But
geez.
yeah, we were sitting at a 2 probably before 9/11.
Yeah.
And I would probably say somewhere around 2008. No,
Yep.
probably about 2008 or 9. Yeah. We probably were up around a 5. And now, even with everything that's going on with the military being strong as it is now, because number wise, stuff like that, I'm saying we're probably sitting at a 3.5, 4 right now. It's gone backwards because
Yeah.
Even when it was at its peak and it's, everybody was taking it seriously, it was a consistent battle. I mean, there were times that you remember when you were in, you didn't have to deal with the Blackberries or anything, did you? The phone Blackberries.
We were.
Yeah.
I was till 94 to 99, 5, and then I did civilian.
Yeah. So
I did with some civilian contracting, but razors and shit, nothing, no Blackberries.
Right. So, I mean, there was even times where they had the BlackBerry phones and they loaded this app on it so that they can track all those soldiers to see where they were at when they were traveling and stuff like that. And within like a day, they found out that there was a backdoor into it that China could get into. And They can turn on the microphone, turn on the camera, all that stuff. And but yeah, operation security, intel oversight especially. I mean, it's a constant battle even today, and I don't want to say it's a complacency thing. It's just that the way the training's done for the lower soldier or the mass group of soldiers, it's just another death by PowerPoint thing, and nobody takes it seriously. And everybody's just like, yeah, whatever. I actually gave a brief on operation security to a group of people at the Joint Force headquarters. And I did not go slide by slide. I just started talking about stories, real world stories and stuff like that. And I had like a couple of people crying in the audience because I was talking to this story about how this girl was posting online, little teenage girl was posting online about how her family was out of town and stuff like that. And somebody just did a real quick deep dive on her and her family's social media, and they were able to break in the house and rape her and all that other stuff.
Oh my gosh. It's horrible.
Yeah. But people started listening, and that was a true story. But people started listening, and because it had real world consequences,
Sure.
But if we're like, hey, this might be you over in Iraq, and people are sitting at home stateside, and they're just like, whatever, I'm just going back and forth to work. What's it matter?
Yeah.
So it's all about making the training relevant, and we're not doing it. We're not serious enough about it. So.
Yeah, I agree. I always try to base it off of the highest level of operational security that you can think of as the Secret Service when it comes to where people could understand, force protection, HVT, and understanding what that means is probably the easiest for people to understand stateside who are civilians. And man, I from Butler to what happened at the Hilton. Man, I just like there's so many holes, and I'm not going to disparage anybody, but if our physical security is that way, it just makes me terrified. What OPSEC looks like at a level for our entire country.
Yeah, there's some spooky stories I can tell you about physical security and everything, but probably not on the air because I don't know if those things have been changed or updated. So I don't want to give any bad guys an idea of like, oh, that's a weak point. So
we do. There's so much shit that Leeroy and I don't talk about on this show because we can't. And that's when we come out and we put some rounds down range, and we'll have a couple glasses of whiskey and share some stories. Mine aren't nearly as fun as yours, but I'll listen.
Or the ones you can tell.
Or the ones he's got more. He's got better stories than I do. Trust me.
As long as we leave the cell phones in the truck, we can talk.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or we can bag them.
Right. Yep.
So So a portable Faraday cage, and we can.
Yeah.
So, Liv, did you have something?
Yeah, I want to know how did you and Chris meet?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So yeah, that's a cool story because you actually mentioned about me being stabbed in the shoulder and everything, and that was actually during a attempted carjacking. Got stabbed in the shoulder, which I really wanted that car, but the guy didn't want to give it up. No, it was my car.
We know. We got it. We got it. It was funny.
But I don't want nobody knocking on my door tomorrow and be like, hey, but anyway.
A felon. He's carjacking people. No,
right,
we got it.
No, but, got stabbed in the shoulder and everything. So that led to some nerve damage issues in my arm. And then so I had to get medically retired from my position. And because I got medically retired on the military side, I could no longer hold the GS position because it was a dual service thing and it wasn't for civilians. And so I sat down with my colonel, and my colonel was like, well, we can make it work, or, we can do this and that. And he's like, but, you could also get paid to stay home. And I was like, oh, yes, paid to stay home. Let's do that.
Sounds
ding, ding. But
I'll take two.
Yeah. But soon after that, I started my company called ADAPT, which was Advanced Defense Assessment Preparation Team, which is just taking all the knowledge I have about, the protection program, physical security, operation security, and which going back to operation security, me and you both know that like the Bloods and Crips have more OPSEC than law enforcement does. But so I started that company, and it was just to do assessments and kind of help people out, which, at that time when I was getting out, being a prepper, for lack of better terms, or whatever they call themselves now, I would go do assessments for them. Well, my wife entered me into a contest on Facebook to go train with Chris and Boone, because Boone was part of Battle on Tactical at that time. And I just watched the movie 13 Hours, and I put it off for months because I was just like, everybody kept telling me it's going to piss you off, and it did.
Yeah, of course it did.
So whenever she came to me, she says, hey, you won this contest. You get to go train with Chris. And I was like, what? And I was excited. You told me I was going to go learn how to drink water from the guy, and I'd be like, yeah, let's go do it, But went there to the training, got a lot out of it. It was actually Boone that taught me how to shoot the pistol with the nerve damage that was going on in my left hand. And he gave me some tips and tricks. But Chris and Boone had to unlearn all the military police way of shooting a pistol, because it was all like jacked up at the time when I was doing it. I don't know what they're training on now. But came back, I was excited. And I was like, you know what? I was like, to get the name of my company out there, I might bring these guys down and train in Alabama. So I contacted the person that was managing him at the time, and set up a 3-day course. Actually, it's a 1-day course and a 2-day course. So I brought him down to Alabama in September, which Chris says he will never train in Alabama during September again. Him and Ben Morgan, they're like, nope, it's too hot.
These boys ain't from the South. They don't know.
No,
they don't know what's going on. September, Alabama. Shit. We call that spring.
Yeah. And Alabama's heat in September. I mean, you take a shower and you're sweating while you're in the shower.
Oh,
we're
of
from
course
Houston.
We're from Houston, bro. We know. We're from the South. We get it. And people don't understand. We're like, September, that's when it breaks. And people are like, breaks. Are you kidding me?
But so I brought them down, and I could tell Chris was a little stressed at the time. Different things behind the scenes going on. He's mentioned that on other things, so I'm not airing dirty laundry.
No, yeah.
But but one of the things he said to the class, he's like, hey, look, if you've ordered something from my website, it's probably going to be a few months, but just email this email and we'll get it to you, or we'll get you your money back, So after that, the first day of the course was over, I walked up to Chris and I was like, so tell me what's going on with this order stuff. And he said that the person that was managing his shop and everything had, moved on to greater, better things, So stuff was getting behind because he didn't have nobody to do it, and he couldn't do it himself because he's always traveling, right? And so I told him, I said, dude, I'm retired. I have nothing going on right now.
Right.
I'm still trying to make a name for my business. I said, let me get you caught up. What do I got to do? And he said, well, let's talk about it more later. So by the time that was over with, or that training session was over with, me and him had more in-depth conversations about it. And that led to me taking it over to get all his orders caught up. And that was the original, deal, was for me to get him caught up, and then somebody else could take it over if he wanted to, or whatever they wanted to do. And when I started communicating with him about it, we got all the stuff, all the products and everything sent to the house. No, I went and picked him up in Georgia. That's right. But we got all the stuff to the house, and we started processing orders. When I say we, it was me and my wife, because if she didn't help me, then we'd still be doing it right now.
Yeah, it's similar story over here. Similar story
right,
over here.
Right. So we got the when I was talking to Chris, I said, so what if somebody wants their money back and everything? How do you want me to handle that? He said, look, dude, just tell them the truth, man. Just don't lie. Don't make it like, hey, we got supply issues. He said, just tell the truth. And I was like, okay. So I'd email people. I'd get on the phone with people that, there were people that were 6 months behind on orders, books, shirts, hats, whatever, And I talked to him. I said, hey, look, I'm calling you on behalf of Chris, or I'm emailing you on behalf of Chris. And he just wants to apologize that things are late and getting behind. It is literally just because of, bad, staffing issues and everything. We can get it out to you now because we got somebody, it's me that's sending it out to you. Or if you want your money back, he'll give you your full money back. And it was well over 100 something people that were behind. Only 2 people wanted their money back, and it was just because it was like for shirts or something. So they got their money back, and then they turned around and got books. So they ended up giving the money back. So and after that, when we got them all caught up and everything, we helped them out with some stuff with the 14th Hour Foundation in Las Vegas. Me, Bad Rob, my wife. And then he just said, hey man, let's make this permanent, and I was like, okay. And then he invited me up to do some training, we were down at Big 3 East in Florida. Mm-hmm. And he invited me down there to go do some, to be part of that training and bring some, stuff down there to sell. And, after a couple of different times like that, he started putting me on the range and letting me work with him on the range and everything. And then he's like, all right, hey, look, this is permanent. We're going to do this now. You're going to be an instructor. You're going to manage this, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of where we're at.
That's
now.
Awesome. Yeah. What a story.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be doing, because let's face it, you do a lot of marketing and you're handling logistics, and we're doing the same thing at a smaller scale. Did you think that was your process or something that you would enjoy? Because it sounds like you enjoy it.
Yeah. I enjoy it because I like working with somebody that doesn't, well, let me put it this way. One of the biggest headaches I have with Chris is he won't let me make him money, because I'm like, hey man, I got this idea. We can do this. And, you can make like $5, per product on this. And he's like, $5. Well, how much does it actually cost? And I'll tell him, and he's like, no, let's just make $1 on it. And I'm like, dude, let me make you some money, man. And, he doesn't like when we were looking at hats, the hats went away for a while. And then Heath, with Forged Leather, started working with us. And, Chris is like, no, we're not selling anybody a hat for $35, or, that's just ridiculous. But, I just love working with somebody who has that mentality. He's not trying to screw anybody. He's not trying to get rich off of them. There's times where Chris has begged people not to send him free stuff, but they will anyway. And he's like, understand, I'm not committing to anything, but they would send him free stuff anyway. And he'll try to pay for stuff. And that's just who he was, and I loved it, it's kind of still in my wheelhouse from when I was working in the Joint Operations Center, because it was like you're just managing information, managing movement of stuff, and I had a lot of good resources to lean on, because again, I'm an idiot. So I would lean on like one of our instructors, Chad Holton, we call him Wheels. I'd lean on him for stuff that got too complicated on computers. I would lean on Spooks a little bit. She doesn't like for us to call her an instructor because technically she hasn't been an instructor, but we keep trying to push her into becoming one. But I lean on her from time to time. But it's just meeting all these people, like meeting Jessica Lynch, meeting Don Jenkins, meeting Tig, which all of them are just down to earth people. And it's just like, running into somebody at Walmart and having a conversation with them. Great people. But I loved it. I mean, I fell right into it, and I was like, why do anything else right now? I don't need to. One day if I get a big enough bill or something, I might be like, well, it's time to get a job at McDonald's or something, But that's where we're at right now.
I love it, man. I like just to see how you guys operate and what you've created. And it's amazing. And I'm with you with Chris. The way he treated my son, I'd walk in traffic with that guy. My son came on and was big fan of 13 Hours. And he's like, I get to meet Chris Tanto Peranto. And yep. And Chris just absolutely took the time with him and was so kind to him and sent him a couple books and whenever Chris has been on a second time, he sees Ethan and he's just, just good dude, man. Just a really good dude. So I appreciate that for sure.
Well, and I can give you a little backstory or a little nugget story that nobody knows about Chris.
Okay.
And he'll probably kick me in the nuts next time we're on the range. But so I was sitting at the computer one day doing something. I was working on something for Battle Line or planning a course or something. And I get this email that pops up, and usually if it's from like a fan or something, I'll kind of say, okay, I'll address that later. But in the email, I saw the first line. It says, "Hey, hate we missed you," because Chris was off at a speaking event, right? It says, "Hey, we miss you. Wish we could have saw you before you left town. My son's a big fan." Blah blah blah. And he sent his picture of his son, and it was this young kid. And he's like, he just loves your book. And I think he was talking about the Ranger Way, not 13 Hours. And he said it gave him encouragement and everything because he was dealing with just having low encouragement, I guess. I don't know, or low self-esteem. I'm sorry. Right. And so I was like, so I forwarded it over to Chris and I texted him and said, check this email out. And, I said, sucks you're already headed out of town and everything. Cause he was supposed to leave that morning, And he's like, well, my plane don't leave till then. He's like, if they're still in town, tell them come by the hotel. So I was like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right. So I got the good dude's number. I called him. I said, hey man, look, here's the hotel. If you can get to the hotel by this time, Chris will take pictures with him, talk with him. And they ended up talking for about 2 hours or so, taking a few pictures with the kid and everything. But that's just who Chris is,
Yeah.
He can't do it all the time, but when he can, and if he feels led by God to do it, he'll do it,
You're absolutely right. I remember like we had him on and he came on for the 20,000 show when we raised the 20K for the studio and just so kind. And Barry made the introduction. And at some point we got the wires crossed that he thought it was a public speaking event. and so he's like, oh, bro, did I commit to this? Cause I don't remember, but I'll be there and I'll fly out. And I'm like, no, man, no. It's, we just need you to come out and talk for 20 minutes, just say hi and show your face. And he's like, 20 minutes. He's like, dude, 2 hours. I'll be there the whole time. And I'm like, oh my God. So like, I was like, this is awesome. And then Battle Line went off the air, the podcast, Battle Line podcast, which I was a listener, went off the air and he shut it down. And I just was like, dude, I know podcast is my baby. I know how it feels. I just wish you the best of luck. And you're always, welcome to come back on. And so Olivia reaches out to him and he kind of waves off and says, and I think you were on this email string. He like, I think you waved us off and it's like, hey, Chris isn't doing any of these events anymore. And he's kind of having to respectfully decline and wishes you the best. And then dude, like 2 minutes later, another email, no, I'll do it for them. And just the fact that he's like that, man, is just, it's incredible. And it's just an amazing thing. So yeah, this isn't the Chris Peranto show. This is the Jeremy Mitchell show, but he's a part of your life and he's a good friend. And I completely understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude, but he makes it easy to work for him sometimes.
Do you guys do you live in Kentucky, or are you still in Alabama, or where are you at?
Oh, I'm in Alabama. I'm in Alabama. Yeah.
So you travel out for the trainings and stuff, or
yeah. To Fort Scott, Kansas, which Fort Scott is actually where Chris lives.
Kansas, sorry, not Kentucky, sorry.
And usually I would practice a little OPSEC and protect that information, but every freaking time he got on a show, he would say it, and then Tanya would text me. He's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "I don't know." But Fort Scott, and he actually, he fell in love with Fort Scott because he would go out there for one of his top sponsors, Fort Scott Munitions, and he fell in love with the company, which I fell in love with the owners myself. Mama Kraft, which is awesome. She takes care of us every time we're in town. Her and her husband do. I mean, it's just awesome family. But anyways, he fell in love with Fort Scott, Kansas. That's where he moved out there, and we started training out there, and it's just a great place.
Outstanding. Would love to get into the second half and show you a little bit about the show. I think it's really important, man. I know I've met a lot of people who've done what you do, and you can always tell the people who haven't done anything always talk about it, and the people who have don't. And that seems to be the. I guess that's not true, because there are people who've done some things who talk too much too. But I do appreciate the fact that your humility is honest and it's not a show. And I just thanks, man, for sharing who you are and what you're all about. I think it's awesome, man, for sure.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'll stay on and talk as long as y'all want me to.
I'm not letting you go. You're not leaving. Shit, I'm not letting you go. You're gonna watch some videos with us. But I just wanted to kind of shift into, doing that and kind of getting the state of things and picking some good ones for us to kind of watch together and having some conversation about it. But you and I will do that.
I made myself a little note here, 4 people I need to call tomorrow and have a conversation with.
Yeah. Well, you and I will sit down and have a whiskey or two and have some more conversation solo. I really want to get out there and definitely do it. We're thinking of trying to get to Colorado, and Kansas is, first of all, Kansas is the pit of death to drive across, but it's a quick flight. Did you have something else, sweetheart?
No, ready to get to the rest of the show. But someone from Spain is on Instagram right now.
From Spain?
From Spain.
Wow.
So, representing Spain.
Outstanding. So, nice to see somebody from
welcome
Spain.
Spain.
So first, so this is Jeremy's first time, so we're going to be easy on him on this.
We're never easy on anyone.
Yeah, we're never easy on anybody. Pedo alert. So Rachel Maddow, I want to take you guys back. Now,
oh, shoot. Sorry to interrupt. The most important
question. Is Rachel
question.
Maddow calling in?
No.
We're not done with the show. You can't do that. That's the end of the show.
Well, it's like the end of the interview.
It's not the end of the interview. The interview continues.
Fine.
Just ask him. Just ask him.
Okay.
This is important.
It's a staple. Everyone wants to know.
Wait. We got to do this right.
Music.
If we don't do this right, we're failing. Okay, here it is.
Okay. It's a staple. Everyone's got to answer. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Hell no.
That's my boy. That is the only answer. That is the right answer.
That is the wrong answer.
I'm sorry. That's nasty. Now, my daughters love it. Sometimes my wife will, but not all the time. She, it's just got to be one of those craving things. But my oldest daughter, she loves it. I'm just,
It's the only way I'll
if you
eat
want
it.
to get me, if you want to torture me, you put that in front of me.
That a boy. That a boy.
That
Pineapple has no place on pizza. None at all.
Now we know the secret.
It's not even the same continent. You know what I mean? No. Don't get that. Get that shit off my pizza. All right. So Rachel Maddow, Pedo Alert. First of all, guys, go over to tontosgearlocker.com. Go book a session with Tonto. We're going to go do it. We were talking about that. And of course, we appreciate you. We thank you so much. Tonto vodka. We're also going to try to get that into Virginia. I don't think you can ship to Virginia, so I just need an empty bottle so I can put it up here.
Yeah,
we want to help you.
We'll just fill it with something else to make it look good.
Yeah. I'll get you in touch with Ben. He'll I don't know.
I love it. Dude, I love it. I will absolutely, if you can, I will buy it. I don't care. I just want it on the back wall. So
I'll get you in touch with Ben on that.
Sounds good, brother. So here's the deal. The last, well, it wasn't even in the beginning. So 2016-20, I don't think I heard pedo one time about President Trump. Nobody even said that. Now, people say pedo. Folks, I'm not going to go through the English language for you, and I'm not going to go through the Latin. You're saying it wrong when you say pedo. It's pedophilia. It's ped, as in pedal. I don't want to get into this with you folks. Just say it the right way. Please stop. And it's not aluminium. It's aluminum. Okay? Thank you. So 10 years for most of his presidency, 6 years, they've said absolutely nothing. Then all of a sudden, you've got these just crazy allegations about Epstein and everything else. And even though there was a relationship there, this whole thing's been on fire. And Rachel Maddow, I want to take you back to a time. We're going to go back to what she had to say when it wasn't her side saying it, and listen to this because this is rich.
Pedophilia, of course, is the most repulsive of all human behavior. It is so repulsive. It is so evil that it makes us see red, right? It is almost literally unthinkable. And it therefore, understandably, can make us stop seeing anybody who's even accused of it as our fellow human. Anybody abetting it or even abiding it, it's basically the same thing. Your brain just instantly goes to monster, right? To decide that you're going to try to harness that for political gain, that you're going to make false accusations of that kind systematically to reduce your political opponents to non-human status. That is a horrific abuse of its own. It's not like a normal political allegation, even a normal criminal allegation, right? When it's about that, it activates our animal revulsion. And if that kind of a charge is made against somebody in politics, it effectively kills that person off as somebody who can participate in the debate and the argument and the fight anymore. They're effectively declassified as inhuman and monstrous, and they're gone. And it has become one of the hallmarks of modern authoritarianism. Not only in Russia, but especially in Russia under Vladimir Putin. That's how
I'm just saying Justin Bieber's looking a little shitty.
Vladimir Putin rose to power in the first place in Russia. That's how he got control of the Russian government. By generating, effectively, a false pedophilia claim against just the right guy at just the right moment.
All right. So, Jeremy, I forgot to put you in this scene, so I apologize. I'm going to fix that in between this, and I've only got 10 seconds to do so, so it's not going to happen this scene. It'll happen next one. And this needs to go away, too, because we're no longer doing this, and there you are. Dude, I love finding these clips, and I am really good at digging this shit up. But this was just a few years ago, before the whole pedophilia claims. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts about this? You've been all over the world. You've seen how the media works. You've seen state-run media. You've seen, are we a state-controlled media? Are we a propaganda machine? Because all of these people were pro-Israel 4 years ago. All of these people weren't even talking about pedophilia. They loved Donald Trump before 2016. What are your thoughts on the current state of our media and the hypocrisy?
So, yeah, 100%. The media is being controlled by the state or one of the alphabet agencies. 100%. You know this. I know this. A lot of people want to say, "Hey, when did that start?" And it started as soon as somebody developed the first newspaper. That's when it started. It's becoming more evident and more. People are getting their eyes open more to it because of platforms they can't control anymore, like YouTube, somewhat of Facebook, because people aren't giving up. People like you, people like Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Yeah. But everybody has an opinion about something, but also everybody's pointing out, hey, something's not right, and me and you both know that everybody is after one thing from you, and it's the most valuable thing in the world. It's more valuable than gold, diamonds, or anything, and that is your mind. That's how you think, and that's what that's the currency right now. And to get that, they have to do psyops. right? And that's all what news media is. Everything, even cartoons on TV, anything on any movies, sitcom shows, news media, all of it is psyops at this point. And anybody who's learned or trained in psyops, you see those things, and it just you're like, that's why I turned everything off. Like when you asked me about, hey, do you want to watch this stuff? I was like, well, yeah, you show it to me and I'll react to it,
Right.
but I don't watch the news, because there's so many people that are using the psyops machine that it's just become overloaded, But good thing is people like your show and other shows that are on these platforms that aren't controlled yet can get the word out.
We are for sale for the right price, 7,000 schmeckles, and we're yours. So we're here. Benjamin Netanyahu, we're waiting. I don't know what your problem is, buddy.
Right.
So I agree with you. I think so. Liv, we're not big fans of Rachel Maddow, but
I totally forgot about her. I haven't seen her in so long. Candace is the one who's got the headlines, so it's like
Candace is good enough.
I totally forgot about Rachel Maddow.
Candace, so we'll just call her the white Candace Owens. So the interesting thing though is that if you go listen to 2014 and you listen to Don Lemon from CNN, it was absolutely a moderate Democrat. He was talking about underprivileged youth, people hanging with their pants down around and showing their underwear as a prison for I'm homosexual, and kids are doing it. It was talking about fatherless homes and the black culture in the inner cities. And you listen to these people. You go listen to Steve Bannon a year ago said Israel was our greatest ally. Megyn Kelly said it. Candace Owens 3 years ago went to Israel with Charlie Kirk and said all the most wonderful things about Israel. And I'm like, I truly believe, Jeremy, you're absolutely correct in what you're saying, but I think it's infiltrated the podcasts and where we went for information, where we considered people telling us the truth, and they are dehumanizing the places that are still trying to tell us the truth. I think Ben Shapiro is a good dude. I think he's been wrong a lot, but it doesn't mean that I don't think he's bought like they say he is, but I can tell you, I think Tucker is, I think Candace is, I think Megyn is. And so it's just, everybody seems to be selling out, man. Is this where we go from here? We just have to turn it off and reprogram our brains, or do you think there's any type of fix in this situation?
Well, I tell you, and Chris kind of has the same mentality I do. But we've trained ourselves when we were young that we need to know everything about everybody, about everything that's going on. And I don't know exactly where that came from, but when I started turning off, like I just went to the VA appointment a couple of days ago, and they took my blood pressure, and I'll be 50 in a few weeks. Yeah, I'll be 50 in a few weeks. And they were like, how's your blood pressure so low? And I was like, I don't watch the news, but
that's telling. I mean, I don't watch the news. Doctor's like, I don't watch the news. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Go sell that.
I mean, that's part of it, but I've learned a long time ago, and I actually learned this I was at E5 in Iraq, and I learned this from an E7 that totally different part of a totally different unit just ran into him on some mission. And he's like, look, there's only 3 things that are going to happen to you in any situation in this world. And as long as you can understand that, then the rest of the world is just trivial to you, And it's like, no matter what situation you find yourself in, a very basic situation or a life and death situation, you're either going to die, right? And then you end up in heaven or wherever else you go. I mean, hopefully it's heaven, not the other direction. But or you'll get injured, and it's going to be an injury that you can recover from. You might be missing a leg, an eye, or jacked up face or something like that, but you're going to heal from it. And you'll have a story from it, and you can write a book from it, especially if you're like a ranger or SEAL. And then the third thing is you'll survive it without a scratch, and the other person won't, and then you can write a book about it like a Navy SEAL or a ranger does. But
predominantly SEALs.
Right. But yeah, once you wrap your mind around that, the world itself, I mean, we know about what's going on in Iran the moment it happens. you know?
Yeah.
But why? I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes for good stuff to talk about, especially when you are running a podcast. But for Jeremy Mitchell, that's just trying to push out these orders and plan that next training cycle, you know, I mean, I'm just like, yeah, if it starts cutting to my front door, I'll deal with it, and I'm ready for it, you know.
Right.
And then one of those three things will happen when it comes to my front door, you know. Till then, I can't worry about it. You know?
That's a good way to look at stuff.
The Master Chief told me a very similar thing, who happened to be someone who didn't write a book, but one of those communities that you talked about, said once you've been shot at, life has a way of getting simple.
Oh,
and so I've always taken that to heart, and it just changes perspective. It changes people. And once you can start handling your own mortality, life gets simple. And so very well put. Gonna pop over to body cameras, and this is an argument. And I know you're gonna get excited about this. So body cameras, Liv, I want to get your opinion first, and then I want to get Jeremy's. I happen to believe that the left is screaming for body cameras, but I don't believe the left want body cameras.
No, they don't.
This is why they attach it to so many different things, is because they don't want it. Okay, well, you need to demask them, and well, we're going to give you body cameras. No, you need to take off ICE's mask. And the reason why is because it ruins the grift of BLM and these victims of this completely fictitious stat and entire movement of BLM that was focused on, hands up, don't shoot, and cops shooting unarmed black youth, which is a lie. It's a complete lie. An average of 13 of those happen a year. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than you do being an African American and shot by a cop. In fact, 264 white people who own 50% of the crime, along with African Americans, but own a much larger form of the population. They don't want body cameras because it tells the story. And if you keep looking at all of these, I want you to look, there's been no riots since the Summer of Love. Why? Well, because all these cases are going in favor of the officer because somebody's doing something stupid. Here's the video, and then we can talk about it when we get back. Folks, you can go to tantosgearlocker.com to get the books, get your signed up for a tactical course, get yourself some training. And you can also get vodka and hats and all sorts of cool stuff.
Unless you live in Virginia, you can't get vodka.
Yeah, but that's because we're a communist state now. But go do all those things. But also, folks, we are way past the donation. That I know you guys learned to hold the donations when we have a guest. That is now over.
We have got guests every week now.
I have never seen a zero at 8:20 at night, and I'll be honest with you, I'm feeling a little woozy here, and I'm starting to spin out. So if we want to get those started, I'm planning on it, Jeremy. If we don't, you're covering it. Here's the video on body cameras. Watch this.
They said in the wake of Michael Brown, we'll market it to low information people in the public, to well-meaning liberal people. We'll market it as accountability and transparency. And so they totally shifted, and then they were able to get hundreds of millions of dollars toward their goal of outfitting every single cop in the United States with a mobile surveillance camera that the police control. They control when it's on, when it's off, what it captures, when something is captured, is released to the public. So if the police capture, let's say, an undocumented immigrant committing some crime, that's out on...
Folks, I'm just going to I'm going to break the news to you. We're hitting Iran like a son of a bitch, and we've been doing it since about 1 o'clock this afternoon, but that news hasn't broke. But I just saw my first report on it, so I'm going to release it. I told Olivia, what did I tell you at the dinner table?
That we were hitting Iran.
So it's official now. I believe Karg Island is going to be one of the targets, and I'm not going to go into anything else. A lot of this is retaliatory from CSC-3 coastal batteries and missile sites going after our ships. But we're also hitting some soft targets too. So just stay tuned, and we'll cover it while we're on. Here's the rest.
Fox News and the New York Post within hours, but if they capture the police doing something horrific, the public may never see that video. So body cameras are a mirage. And as I write in the propaganda book, and it's really critical to understand exactly how it happens, not only do they not reduce police violence, but they have been an essential propaganda tool in convincing so many well-meaning people across our society that the authorities care about police violence, that they want accountability, that they're doing something, right? And it distracts people from the core, important kinds of changes that we need, which is to reduce the size and power of these bureaucracies.
Okay, Yuri. Got to do the camera. So, Jeremy, give us, right after Olivia, sorry, Olivia, you go first, and then Jeremy, give us your thoughts on this, please.
Oh, I think every single cop should have a body camera. I mean, period. And it should be on the entire time they are talking to somebody, whether it be a traffic stop or someone's getting arrested, because it's going to cover them. And no matter what happens, it's going to cover them. And it's going to cover all this crap that's been going on where it's always the cop's fault. And it's not. And
Okay.
I think it's going to cover. So I'm totally for body cameras on at all times.
Feel a cat fight coming on, maybe. Jeremy, your thoughts, your thoughts on body cameras?
So I am pro body camera done properly, because I actually, this past week, I was actually training Ozark, Alabama Police Department. They're what they call their Special Operations Group. And we actually had a conversation about this. And I was like, the current setup that they have, the forward-facing body camera and everything, of course, that collects video and audio that it's actually pointed at and everything. And I actually talked about how we're at a current state of technology that you could actually have a 360 camera, right? Mounted on the vehicle. You can have front back on your plates or whatever. And you can actually have a little mini drone that launches off the top of your car and is watching and everything. And we started getting into that. And it's to not only protect the police officer from false allegations, but it's also to protect the civilian that the law enforcement's interacting with, because no matter what agency you're part of, what company, what group, or anything like that, it doesn't matter. There's always bad seeds, right? And that's been proven. That's why I have a love-hate relationship with these First Amendment auditors, because they do crap the wrong way, but their core intent of holding law enforcement agencies and government agencies accountable is good. But they're just doing it the wrong way. They're injecting themselves where they don't need to inject themselves. And that's what, they don't understand that law enforcement out there dealing with this traffic stop, is trying to watch 360 of who's sneaking up on them, and, that has happened in the past for ambushes and stuff like that. There's been people who have purposely got pulled over and stopped where there was an ambush set up, But so going down a rabbit hole, I do have a 100% there needs to be a body camera, but there needs to be improvements to it. And I don't even know who that dude is, but what he was talking about, how it's if you try to retrieve that information, you're only going to get one side of the story if they want you to have it. No, that's freedom of information stuff. If law enforcement deletes that information or hides it or redacts it or anything, then you can take them to court and get them to undo it, and then that doesn't look good for them, But that every bit of that is accessible, and it should be, But so I love body cameras. They just need to make improvements on it. And
fair enough.
In my opinion, make it easier for anybody and everybody to see it, and pull that information down. The only thing that should ever be redacted from those videos when released to the public is the gore. Right. That's the only thing that needs to be redacted.
That's a good take. It's a really good take from both. I mean, it's simple. We all agree. And I haven't met an officer who has any problem with it. In fact, most of their reps will tell you that most officers, the first question that they have in police officer shooting isn't, "Oh my God, did you watch the film and is everything okay?" Right? So that's not the question. The question is, how's the person, or something to that effect. It's never, am I in the clear? I'm sure it happens, but most cops feel probably pretty damn secure, just like wearing some sort of body armor or having a 12 gauge ready to go at any time, moment's notice, with some backloaded slugs. these things feel comfortable for them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you were talking about the 12 gauge and stuff like that, real quick though, there was one body camera footage that I watched not too long ago, where the police officer, when other officers walked up, he shot the guy that was running at him with a knife. He fired 3 rounds, right? And he knew he fired 3 rounds. He counted them in his head.
Sure.
Very, very aware of what he did. So he walked up there and he says, I know 2 hit him, but I can't account for the third one. So he sent his patrol officers that pulled up to go search the apartment behind where he was shooting. He's like, if it hit, and these things, you need to go check these apartments over here. And they were like, well, no, we'll do that later. He says, no, you go do it now. We need to find out where that round went, you know. So very capable officer, and I'm glad they caught that on the footage and everything. When you were talking about the shotgun, it brought to mind that after I was training with multiple different police departments, actually, they are very unequipped. They poorly equipped when it comes to stuff, and a lot of them have to buy their own equipment.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And they don't get a tax deduction for it if they just buy it themselves. So we actually train them how to, you know, other ways to look at doing it. You know, like if you start a personal LLC as a security company and you buy your personal gear for yourself, if it matches what your department says you can have, then you can wear that, but also you can write it off on taxes because you bought it for your company, you know? So we were teaching them stuff like that, but I'm sorry. I went off the road.
Don't be sorry. That's why you're here, by the way. Like the type of podcast we are is, it's like, if we have questions, we'll interrupt, or if you're boring us, we'll tell you too. So, I think all of that is important to bring into the conversation, because it's not just about, you know, the cops' protection. It's also for the citizen. Carrie Spriggs donated $5. Great guest. Hope he comes back. Oh, we'll see. We got $5.
He doesn't like pineapple on pizza, and I'm the one who books the show.
Yeah, and
so.
I'm not too fond of his fundraising capabilities right now either. So I'm just saying, maybe not.
I'll challenge anybody out there that if you know me and we have a personal relationship, I hope to God you donate at least $5 to the
yeah, at least 5, at least. So I want to be clear on something. This isn't a restarting of the war, folks. This is going to be a systematic, targeted retaliation for firing on U.S. ships, which was a complete failure. You can expect that Bandar Abbas is going to get hit. Keshem Port's going to get hit. Probably hit Karg Island. There's a lot of RGC there, and so they're going to hit Karg Island, or Karg, however you want to say it. It's up to you if you're a white boy or if you've spent some time overseas. The point is, these are going to be precision retaliatory attacks, military structures, infrastructure, things that hurt a little bit more from an economic standpoint. But also, we left them some of their civil patrol stuff, and we're removing that now. So not only have we taken their military units, now we're taking their last boats. And honestly, Iran doesn't have a lot of things to give. And the United States is basically saying, we're going to just systematically take away as much as we can. So your infrastructure is so expensive to rebuild that you have to focus on something other than just military spending. This is going to limit them from investing into nuclear, spinning up new reactors and things to that effect, because they've got to rebuild their military, because they're susceptible. Pakistan hates Iran. The Kurds hate Iran. They've got a lot of enemies in the territory. And let's face it, the Middle East isn't very happy with them after they fired and hit their ports in UAE and Saudi Arabia and Qatar. These countries don't take lightly when other countries attack them, and nobody likes Iran. Okay, good. So we're going to be fine. The ad, go ahead, you call this one out, sweetie.
Yes. Thomas Austin for the support of the show, $51.99. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate you, Tom. You're the best. This is the ad to end all ads. This is Spencer Pratt. He is.
I still need to reach out to him. I got to figure out how
you
to
do need to reach out to Spencer Pratt for sure.
If anyone knows him, let me know.
Yeah, so Spencer Pratt is running for LA mayor. He had his house burned down in the LA fires. He's going up against Bass, who basically looks like the Black Joker. I mean, she does. If you look at her face. In fact, in this commercial, he makes her the Joker. And this is hands down one of the best commercials that I've seen for a political ad in a while. So I'm going to show it to you. And here it is. And then we'll get some conversation on this. in California. And is this the type of person we need? Is this the guy that we need in conservative politics? Watch this.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
Please, I just want to rebuild my...
Dude, he has to say, I'm prep man. He has to.
Prep man.
Come on.
It's been over a year.
Mom, look.
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground,
Pull through that! I feel so close.
You can do it, Spencer!
We're gonna get a copyright strike for that song. Oh, wait, gotta fix it. Last chance. Oh, there it is. He's finally in there.
Wow. That's
Thoughts
pretty...
on the commercial. Little over the top.
It is slightly over the top. It's funny. Gotta love AI. It's better than the chick from Texas who pulled out a gun and shot the mummies in the, or the dummies in the head. So it's better than that one.
She was horrible. Ooh. Like shows a. I understand it's an Islamic terrorist, but he's tied up and she comes and just puts a bullet right in his head, and you're like,
I would prefer that over the top than the other over the top. So I prefer this one.
He should have done. I'm prep man.
He totally should. That would have made it just so much better if he just came in
all
and
he
said,
did.
I'm prep man.
And
yes,
then at the
absolutely.
end of it, whatever. He didn't do it. So Jeremy, your thoughts?
Would have made it 10 times.
Jeremy's
better.
like, this is why I don't watch this shit.
That's part of it. Yeah. Now, I mean, it's very cleverly done and everything. Again, you know, it's all goes into the psyop stuff to win the position he's looking for. But I'll tell you that the only thing that really I can't stand these days is the AI portion, because, and the bad part is like, some people will be like, well, you know, Jeremy, you've been using AI to do some of Chris's promotional posters and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, because when we tried to reach out to artists, right, the artists are wanting like, or I'm saying artists, right, want $300 or whatever to do something for us. And they use the same AI that I use to make that poster, you know.
They do, because they don't have any talent. There's not people who can do stuff like this. And right. This from the Don't Unfriend Me show. Sorry, little plug.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, there's plenty of qualified people out there that know how to do it without, you know, solely relying on AI. But so I have a love-hate relationship with AI. But information-wise, the only thing I would say is I wish that, I mean, great point pointing out the flaws of everybody else, but where's your stance? You know, that's my only, you know, give me more of what you're going to do so I can hold you accountable to what you say you're going to do, you know, because there's too often that nobody says anything. And when they do, they'll either back off from it or they won't do it at all. You know, I have over here on my screen, I have some of the chat opened up and everything. So I do want to say this because I've seen one or two people ask Roll Tide. That's the Roll Tide.
Alabama guy. How about hockey? Do you watch hockey?
Oh, there we go.
My daughter does. My oldest daughter does, and that surprises me. She's what's the Sharks? Yeah, she watches the Sharks. So she kind of got me into it. She's kind of pulling me into it.
Being from Alabama, how does she watch the Sharks? I figured she'd go like Nashville.
That's
right.
And could she have picked a team that's actually good? So listen, Macklin
Celebrini
Celebrini
is you, not me.
You tell her Macklin Celebrini is going to be a GOAT. He's going to be he's probably going to be the top player in the league, probably in the next 2 years. He's already one of the best. And San Jose's on the rise. They've got a great set of goaltenders. They've got some good forwards. They need to get a couple defensemen and get a little more speed on their team, but otherwise they'll be good. Colorado Avalanche, they could go ahead and build their team after the Avs because that's a wagon. Go ahead and put that in. I want that comment put on there. How dare you say that about me, Anonymous? And I know your real name. Anonymous donated $100. I got you, Jeremy. Matt was talking like a bully. Hey, Olivia and Matt. What? I am not a bully. I'm the guy that kicks the shit out of the bully. I don't appreciate that. All right. Good point. Jeremy, it's a good point, right? I mean, like, let's hear what your party platform is. I do appreciate the commercial. That's not all who he is, but you have a chance now, something that went viral, and people don't even know your name, you know? So like you could have said something at the end, could have went ahead and had your key points. I appreciate that fact because I think we get to this mudslinging really easy and we forget to tell people why they should vote for us, or at least lie to them and pretend you're going to do something worthwhile.
Right.
Here is a video. Tornado and I got another one. Hold on. The one and only Barry Morgenstein donated
I put that in there.
$50.
He didn't put that in there. I did.
Love you, Jeremy. Great show. Thanks, Barry. We love you.
There is only one Barry Morgenstein.
There he is. Dude. Yeah.
Tim Dion said, "Go Avs. Can we sweep the Wild?" Sure, we can sweep the Wild. I think the Wild are definitely in a state of flux. And Gustafson, first of all, their goalie Wallstedt, he had never played that many games in a row, and this is the playoffs, and it is exhausting. They had a quick turnaround from their game with Dallas. It was 6 games. I mean, Patrick Waugh played more games. Darcy Kemper played more games than that. There's plenty of goaltenders who've done it, but that's not their problem. Goaltending's not their issue. It's that the Avs are the best 5-on-5 team that's probably ever existed, and that is not just my opinion. That's based on numbers. And now that their power play is clicking, I told you, they have the best penalty kill, best power play. It doesn't happen that they have the best offense and best defense. It doesn't happen in hockey. You don't have that. You have a team that's really good at offense or really good at defense. The Avs are good at everything. They have no weak spots. They have 5 centers that could be on anybody's second and third line. Can they sweep the Wild? I told Olivia, and I looked over at her and I said, honey, I believe if the Avs win the Stanley Cup, they could probably be the first team to go 16-0. And they weren't that far off of it in 2022 when they were 16-4, which was the 4th best record in the NHL. So let's see what happens. I'm not predicting shit. I don't do that. I just think the Avs are a good team, and we'll see what happens. How about that? Sorry, buddy. I got talking some hockey. The one and only Shelly Morgenstein. What the hell's going on?
They came in at the same time. They must have been competing. I don't know.
Jeremy, you're amazing, my friend. Barry and Shelly. What the?
They had to have come in at the same. They must have been doing it without realizing.
Geez, Barry, are you gonna let your wife beat you? No, I just kidding.
Let's start bidding more, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I think Shelly.
Do I hear a 55?
I mean. That's great. Tornado in Alabama vote. I saw this. No, there's not a game tonight. We're not playing until Saturday. They had to give Minnesota 3 days off because, you know.
It's Minnesota.
Here it is. Tornado in Alabama vote. I saw this video. There's literally a tornado warning going off during this vote. Republicans stayed, continued the vote as the Democrats fled. Watch this.
Of course.
Call us back in and say, now we didn't came. Now they call us coming back and trying to go. He didn't made the motion to pass the bill when we supposed to be going into recess.
So if you look, they're still voting, and the Democrats are outside.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
This is a multi-state thing, right? That you've got Tennessee, you've got Georgia, you've got Alabama that are all looking at redistricting, and the Democrats go run and hide and go in the tornado shelter, and the Republicans go ahead and continue the vote. Moxie or just desperate? I mean, what is it? Jeremy?
Well, yeah, so anybody anybody who lives in Alabama for more than 2 years and has experienced tornado weather in Alabama, especially in downtown Montgomery, I can tell you right now that everybody in that room knew there was not going to be a tornado that hit that building. So,
except for the Democrats.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, take it for what it's worth. I don't know if somebody said, I mean, it's kind of like people who pull the fire alarm to get out of a test at school or something like that. But
oh, you mean Jamal Bowman, who did it at the Capitol?
Right.
Or to get out of the vote, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever the reason and everything, I started laughing because, you know, for that alarm to be going off and people saying, we need to get to shelter. And it's like, you know, it's like James Spann, which is the local guy for Alabama. I know other states have other great guys that monitor the weather and everything. And they get out there and they say, hey, anybody in this area, you do need to get to cover right now. I guarantee you James Spann was not sitting here saying, if you're in Montgomery, downtown Montgomery, you need to get to shelter. I guarantee you he wasn't saying that. But it's just funny to me. And them staying on the floor and voting, I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
Nobody called a recess. Nobody called a recess. Democrats, you guys decided to vacate the floor and abandon the vote. Listen, I don't. The one thing I will tell you is I agree you should have party platform. We should get to a state of discourse. All those things are true. But you need to play, at this point, you got to play them at their own game because they're going to continue to play dirty. You know, I understand the theory. I understand that they're both the same, you know, different wings of the same bird. I understand Republicans do some pretty stupid things and Democrats do stupid things, but there's only one that's really trying to dismantle the Constitution. There's only one that has gerrymandered for the last 200 plus years and then pretends they don't. They're the only ones that have supported 69 million kids getting killed. They're the only ones that want to censor speech and lock down the government. So I'm going to go with the people who are the constitutionalists, no matter how much they piss me off sometimes. Conservatives bother me because they're weak. I'll do more of this. I'd like to see some backbone. That would be a good thing. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. I listen. You're almost 50, so you and I.
The Force is not with him.
No, the Farce is. You and I grew up with Star Wars. You're a 76 baby. I'm assuming 1976. Yeah. Okay. So I'm 1974. I'm older than you. I know I'm extremely good looking. You don't have to tell me, but I get it.
You're both old.
Shut up, Liv. Asshole. Me.
Hey, like I said, I'll be 50 here soon, and people's like, you know, why is your hair not as gray as it should be? I was like, again, I don't watch the news. But
that's right. I'm like, haven't you ever heard for, you know, hair color for men that's out there? There's nothing wrong with that. Mark Hamill, may the farce be with you. This is what Mark Hamill posted. He posted a picture of President Trump in a grave, dead. And at this point, these people are just absolutely insane. Here is the video. You gonna put that in real quick?
Yes, I am.
The one and only Barry. A person who really likes the show donated another $20.
He had to beat Shelley.
Yes,
Your turn,
I'll
Shelley.
see Shelley's 50 and raise her 20. That's what he said.
I'll see Shelley's 50 and raise her 20.
Oh
The one and only
gosh.
Barry is in a bidding war with his wife. Shelley, it goes to you. And I look at it this way: go big or go home, right? I mean, don't come in with some little lightweight thing and go. Show him where it hurts. Spend his money, Shelley. Spend it hard.
I can't believe some of these people in your audience that I see. I know some of these names and everything, but I can't believe they're letting Barry and Shelley outbid him. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, no. See, okay. Listen, the dumb nation hasn't missed. These guys take care of us. I mean, they really do. They really take care of us. And without them, and you know, I know a lot of podcasts are out there doing, you know, 3,000, 5,000. They're asking for ungodly amounts of money.
We also put their shows behind paywalls.
Yeah, so we don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Hamill. Watch this video. We'll see if Shelley is going to reach into Barry's wallet and spend more of his money. So here's Mark Hamill. May the farce be with you.
Well, we are getting reaction from the White House now to a disturbing post that was put up by Star Wars actor Mark Hamill. White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich live on the North Lawn with the reaction. This was a pretty disturbing post.
Yeah, John, the actor best known for playing Luke Skywalker put out an AI-generated image of President Trump in a grave with the caption that reads, "If only." And it comes just days after yet another attempt on the president's life at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The suspect in that event has been charged with an attempt to assassinate the president. Hamill writes in his post, he should live long enough to witness his inevitable devastating loss in the midterms, be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for his countless crimes, long enough to realize he'll be disgraced in the history books forevermore. This man, this actor, also recently appeared alongside former President Barack Obama to mark Star Wars Day, as well as the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Those two pieces have White House officials really upset at not just the content of this post, but the fact that Obama has...
Bubba Ford comes in with poop sky shitter. Go figure an army guy would come up with that.
Not denounced it yet. A White House spokesman says to Fox, Barack Hussein Obama just appeared in a video with this deranged lunatic 3 days ago. Now this same person is calling for President Trump to die. Why won't Obama and Democrats condemn this disgusting call to violence? The rapid response page for the White House also called Mark Hamill one sick individual, saying these radical left lunatics just can't help themselves. This kind of rhetoric is exactly what has inspired 3 assassination attempts against our president in 2 years, John.
Yeah, what happened to this idea of...
It's Army Air Corps to you, sir. Bubba corrected you.
Army Air Corps. What you served in, what, 1946? what are you talking about, dude?
World War II?
Army Air Corps. Our Army Air Corps poofed after WW2. So let me see. Yeah, because the Huey helicopter was created by the cavalry, and the Army could not actually use any planes, so they couldn't use paratrooper force. So they didn't want the Air Force dropping off their soldiers, so they created the Huey choppers and did ground deployment from the Air Cav. So that shows you that the Army Air Corps has been gone for a long time, Bubba. Dude, how many times did you get hit in the head when you were in? All right, so
Fort Benning, Georgia had one of the last Army Air Corps buildings with the signage and everything. I think they got rid of it in 2005 or 6. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Bubba, I know. Bubba, no, don't be sorry, Bubba. I know you were in the Air Force. Why do you think I said you were in the Army, brother? Come on, man. Work with me here.
You misgendered his
Army. He's like, you misgendered his Army.
God, I love you, Bubba.
All right. So
Mark Hamill looked a lot like the Emperor there.
Yeah, he's like, good.
Yes.
Join the dark side, Luke.
Wasn't he the one where he was up there presenting an award or getting an award and his pants fell down or something? Because
oh God, I don't know.
Stage,
did he?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Look that up.
I will. Listen, we talk a lot of shit in the military. We talk a lot of shit in the civilian world. Your thoughts on this? Listen, I understand everyone's outraged. Who gives a shit what Mark Hamill says? And does anyone really care? Does this bother you? Or is this just like, you know what? This is so petty. This is what the libs do. They get completely pissed off at everything. I'm just tired. Of course they want him dead. They've tried to shoot him 3 fucking times. We know this. They all want him to die. So at least Mark Hamill has somewhat balls to say it, but then takes it down. Your take on this?
It kind of the same thing, really. I mean, who the hell cares what you got to say about anything? I mean, you're the entertainment, you know. I mean, you're being paid to make a movie or make a commercial, make a show, sing a song, get up on stage. I mean, you're the paid entertainment. Nobody cares what you think. Sing my song, act in my movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
And that goes for anybody. I don't care. Like when people were like, when certain stars were talking about Biden and everything, which he gave him plenty of material and everything. It's the same thing. It's like, I don't care. Sing the song. You know what I mean? Do your job. You know?
Do a movie, right? Just act.
Exactly. But especially. But see, everybody's trying to be relevant, right? So if you've watched now, there's a lot of big name actors that are doing commercials, like very basic commercials that you would usually see like a local guy do or something, you know. And it's all because everybody's trying to remain relevant. So to get their name out there, they have to sit here and say, all right, what's going to get me on the news? All right, being pro this won't get me on the news, so let me be anti that, you know. Or their agency that they work for says, hey, we need you to go out there and say this. I'll tell you, Pink, you know, the artist Pink that sings and everything. Dude, I love a lot of her music and everything. Politics, I don't care for them. Don't care for her politics or anything, but I'll still listen to her music, you know. I'm not
Jeremy,
gonna
one second. My producer, no, he fucking said he listens to Pink. I know. It's not my fault. Olivia booked him. Okay, bye. I don't know what. I'm sorry. Were we live? No, we listened to Pink. I'm just messing with you, man. I have Wilson Phillips that I was playing when I was making my model today. I'm like listening to Release Me. And I'm like, Release Me. I'm like, God, release me. Just hold on one more day.
I tell you, I've ridden with a couple of people like Pablo Martinez, which is one of our instructors. He's the guy that works for NASA, and y'all should have him on the show.
Done. Book him, dude. Get people on. We love it.
You got my email. Send me some info, please.
Yeah, I'll get you in contact because he's one of the top engineers for the Artemis program. So really good dude. But anyways,
holy shit.
So you see him and you think, hey, really laid back guy and everything, but hit the music he falls asleep to, relaxes to, and stuff like that is just like some of the most hardcore heavy metal you've ever heard in your life. And I listen to all kinds of music. If it's good, I'll listen to it. If it sucks, I'm just like, change, you know.
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, rabbit hole again.
No. Craig Carvalho says, anyone know Oliver North? Yeah, I've met him. He lives grenade. Like right over there. Yeah. I could throw a rock at his house. That's how close he is to us. So he lives in my town. We have not gotten him on the show. I've tried. We really want him on. Was a hero to me when I was younger. One of the reasons I got into politics and I watched the Iran-Contra hearings. I would skip school and go to my grandma's and watch it. And I'd love to have him on. My dad, when he was alive, idolized Ollie North. So yeah, we do. He's American hero.
I was going to say
what's going on? Is there what the hell? What is?
I don't know. But I was going to say with Mark Hamill, he's trying to stay relevant because what's the latest thing he's done? Jay and Silent Bob. That's like
he was the voice of Joker in the Batman animated series. If you want to call that a win.
If you want to call it a win.
I mean, I guess he did a good job. Kevin Jolly donated $100. Great show, intellectual and humorous, with a little sports mixed in. Thanks, Kevin. It's the first time Olivia's ever been called intellectual. I appreciate you saying that. She's been working really, really hard.
It wasn't me.
And we got to get some whiskey in here, man. This is good shit. I love it. This is perfect TV.
I think
people are going to start donating and saying, get him off the screen.
No, dude, this is good. First of all, thank you, Kevin, for the donation. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Ash is going to share her doghouse with you tonight.
Okay, easy. No, I'm not. I love you. I adore you. You know this. You're not doing yourself any favors there, Jeremy. Don't piss off the Olivia. Oh yeah, she's Mexican and she collects knives.
It's very true.
Okay, Mr. Hollandaise with 123.01 from one lower Alabama guy to another. Thank you for your service, bud. Matty Hollandaise. Thank you, Matt. You are the best. You guys are incredible. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Let's get into the Hanta virus here because this is the new thing, boys and girls, because there's nothing like fear porn to keep us all in line.
Keep us in check.
First of all, let's hear from a masked woman who I'm sure she's very non-emotional and very logical about this. Let's listen to what she has to say. We'll go into Dr. Drew, who basically is going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. And then the World Health Organization, people we shouldn't trust in any way, shape, or form. But here's this masked idiot.
Hey, if you're worried about the hantavirus situation, wear a mask, wear a respirator, even outside. This is a head strap one. This is an N95. There are also KN95s, which are just the ear loop ones. The tighter it is to your face, the better, which is why the head straps are a little bit more protective. I am begging you all, please, for the love of God. I'm seeing so many videos and comments of you being like, I don't have the time. I don't feel like it. Guess what, y'all? Like, did we not learn from 2020 that that's just wishful thinking and denial is not how we prevent anything. We actually need to take measures, and sometimes they're not that fun. I mean, I'm used to wearing a mask because I've been wearing one since 2020. Still not my most favorite thing in the world. Obviously, I have a beautiful smile. I would love to show it off. I'm a very expressive person. However,
We're good.
Much
We're
less
good.
important to me than my long-term health and the health of other people. So yeah, I am begging you all, please just fucking wear a respirator.
Why? Why?
You know what?
One, that's not a respirator you're wearing.
Exactly.
That's not a respirator, sweetie. Like, you could literally drive COVID, flu A and B, airborne herpes through that thing, and that ain't going to stop anything from you.
I hear she's besties with the dude from last week. I wonder if she's gotten her like 38th booster shot, just that dude.
Well,
because seriously.
Well, here's Dr. Drew. First of all, folks, this is not airborne, okay? And the hantavirus has been inside the United States for 200 plus years, and there are hundreds of different strains of this shit. 4 can kill you. And there's about anywhere from 100,000 to 200,000 cases annually, okay? This is not that big of a deal. Let's watch Dr. Drew, who's going to lay it out for you and tell you, oh my
I'm
God.
really worried. You know, we have a hantavirus outbreak in a cruise ship, and everybody's wanting to do it all over again. It's, are you freaking is not a respiratory virus. Stop it. Stop it now. Stop the news agencies need to stop. Everybody needs to stop. Hantavirus has been around a long time. It's nasty. Yeah. So is TB. So is a lot of other things. So is rickettsia. Let's deal with the rats problem downtown in Los Angeles. We have murine typhus and pneumonic plague breaking out. Deal with that. But I digress. The fact is that there are structural and philosophical excesses in public health that need to be kind of addressed. And is anyone in public health thinking about this?
I don't think they are. I mean, I think one of the most healthy, useful outcomes of the COVID era was the absolute loss of credibility of the public health religious cult. And, you know, also, I think we all...
Public health religious cult? You mean these people? Here they are.
This is not coronavirus. This is a very different virus. We know this virus. Hantaviruses have been around for quite a while. There's a lot of detail.
200 years.
Ask NIH to come in and say this, but I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming, and we are trying to provide all of the information that we can. That's why we're having a press conference here to give accurate information, and we're grateful for all of those out there who are asking these types of questions. But this is not the same situation we were in 6 years ago. It doesn't spread the same way like coronaviruses do. It's very different. It's that close, intimate contact that we've seen. And most hantaviruses don't transmit between people at all. Most hantaviruses are transmitted from rodents or their feces or their saliva, in their droppings.
So in other words, Richard Gere is screwed. So
Oh wow, that's old school right there.
yeah, bro. I'm dropping the bombs from yesteryear, man. I'm bringing them all out.
Oh, this is a tad deja vu, because isn't there an election coming up in November?
They're calling it the midterm strain.
Yeah.
So listen, you guys, if your day of leisure is sleeping inside your broom closet with a bunch of rats and inhaling their feces, you have some things to worry about. Otherwise, just go about your day. Don't put on a mask. Don't get a shot. This is stupid. This is just fear porn. It's a slow news. Now that we're hitting Iran again, we'll change the news cycle. You won't even hear. This is like monkeypox. Jeremy, again, is this stupid?
Oh, all day long. For multiple reasons. Because one, just like we talked about earlier, psyops, social engineering, that's what all this is. And I tell people all the time, if you want to know what's happening with what you're seeing in the news, if you're watching the news, especially about stuff like this, don't go try to find out more about the virus. Don't go try to find out more about what the CDC is saying or what this agency is saying or whatever. Go study psyops, social engineering. Just go start there, and once you start realizing and really digging into it and it starts telling you and propaganda and everything, once you start digging into it, then you'll look at all these different news reports and everything and be like, oh, that's what's, I see that they're using this type of line, this type of sentence, this type of way of thinking.
Correct.
And once you study that, you look at the news differently and you start seeing it for what it is on all sides, you know. But for going back to the video of the person with the mask on and everything, one, bad information, that's not a respirator. Two, I mean, if you wear a mask, wear a mask. I don't care. That's you. Just don't try to force it on me. But and the reason why I don't like any of that stuff is because, one, you're just wearing something as you walk through the air. You're collecting it because you're breathing it in. Now it's all collected on that filter that you're just constantly sitting there with it on, especially if you're using a cloth one or whatever. But you'd be a lot better off just walking through the air and letting it bypass you and just keep your mouth shut, you know, and breathe shallow. Yeah. But if there was a serious enough case, but this is all just psyop stuff. This is just all getting ready for election year, election season and everything. You are old enough that we've seen it happen 100. We didn't understand it when we were younger.
Nope.
We got panicked about, you know, all kinds of different things.
Like getting under our desk with a nuclear war. Let's get under some bees. Oh
yeah, the killer bees.
Whatever happened to the ozone? I thought we were going to die of that. Freon was going to kill us. Let's get under some Kidling.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Get under a desk.
And quicksand, man. What about quicksand?
Oh, yeah, quicksand.
I swear to God, every Gilligan's Island, I'm like, oh my God, he's in quicksand. They're going to die. MacGyver. Charlie's Angels. Every quicksand was the biggest threat to the whole world. There's no such thing, by the way.
I would not walk across playgrounds and stuff like that, you know. And oh, dude, I hated it.
You know, quicksand is completely fictitious, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Mud sucking in a swamp will kill you faster than any bullshit quicksand. Mud sucking. Yeah. You get your foot stuck in a lake bottom, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're fucking dead. Pardon my language.
Mythbusters did that thing on quicksand back in the day, and I was watching that episode, and when they started talking about quicksand, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about quicksand. And I started, but when I watched the episode, I got up and I was like, all these years they lied to me.
the lying sons of bitches. You know, everyone loves having you on, by the way, and it's fantastic to have you on, man. A lot of positives. You're welcome back anytime. I want to just kind of follow it up with one little thing, and then we'll call it good. Go ahead and put it in, Liv. Looks like the man of the family, the one with the real cojones, the one and only Shelly Morgenstein donated $75. I see your 20 raise, Barry. Let's go. Holy crap. Hey, it's time to break out some of that Jew money, Barry. Let's break out the Black American Express. I know you got one. I know you got some
angry sex tonight.
Did you just hear my wife? She just said, "Oh my God, there's going to be some angry sex in the Morgenstein house tonight." Holy God!
Hey, I tell you, we have this running joke about Barry. Whenever somebody talks to us about Barry, that knows him and everything, we're like, "Yeah, Chris is good at one headshot, and Barry's good at another headshot."
Yep. Amen. And as far as angry sex, is there any other kind? Like, are we kidding? Listen, Mike Lynch comes in, $20. This dude is solid. I'll be honest with you. I never talked to Jeremy before. Just his interactions with the show, just his loyalty to Tonto, the way he treated Jessica Lynch. And when I started doing research, thank you, Mikey. When I started doing research on him, and when I do research, like, I'm not going to put you on my show unless I know enough about you to make a judgment call. But dude, I've had a lot of interviews. This one was very seamless. You're a fun guy to talk to. You're welcome back anytime. And I just can't thank you enough for everything you do. You're a gatekeeper, bro. And it sounds like your entire life you've been a gatekeeper. And it makes me feel good that people like Barry and Jessica and Chris have you in their circle and you're watching their six. That means a lot. So I just want to say thank you for that. I'll let Olivia say something, and then you get last word, which is something we always do on the show. Livy?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And it was great talking to you when we were trying to get Chris on the show. You were such a really cool, laid-back dude to talk to, but it's really nice to finally meet you. So it's great. And we would love you to record a 30-second video like Tonto did.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, just saying whatever. And we want to get one from Jessica. We want to try to get it from all of our guests and promote the book, hold the book up, do whatever. We don't care. We'd love to get that. But please, the last minute is for you, my friend.
Oh, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to have me on, because literally I know you read all that, alphabet soup of stuff, but I mean, I'm literally nobody. I'm just kind of stumbling in the dark like the rest of the world, and I'm just blessed to not only know people like Chris and Jessica, Don Jenkins and everything, but people I served with, the people I've worked with. Everybody just they're the ones that kind of made me look good and rose me up to the top to challenge me and hold me accountable where I fell and stuff like that. But again, guys, thank you for having me on. 100%. I'll shoot y'all a video, and I'll get Jessica to do one too. I'm actually going to talk to her in a few days. But guys, and I'll get Pablo to contact you also. But in closing, guys, man, thanks for having me on. It's been a blast. Easy to talk to, and Jessica's right. It's just like hanging out and having a conversation. It's easy flow.
That's it, man.
No scripted stuff. I love it. It's awesome. And thank you guys for having me on.
When you get out to Virginia, dude, mi casa, su casa, whiskey, good food, whatever. We'll get out to Kansas, but God bless, brother. It was fantastic having you on, man, and we'll do it again. And please take us up on it. It was a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
Too easy, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, Jeremy, take
Bye.
it easy, brother. See you, man.
Bye.
What a great interview. So fun. It's simple. Good people know good people. And I'll tell you what, I feel that we are in a situation. Thanks, Jeremy. I'm going to cut you out now, man. Gracias, my friend. Is when you collect good people around you, they know great people too. And, Barry has been a blessing for this show. Shelly's been a blessing for this show. Lisa Regina has been amazing. T.S. Dixon has been amazing. The people that we've met, I mean, Damani Felder, Eli Crane, Ryan Weaver, Ryan Samuels. We just go on. We just made so many good friends. And we know Tuesday, I don't know if you guys know, but I thought I would let you know, is Tuesday afternoon, I'll be interviewing the chicks on the right. It'll be a recorded show. We don't have the time to go live. But that's a relationship we also want to start cultivating. And when you enter this network of ours, we collect people too. And we try, like, people have made us better on this show. Our fans have made us better on this show. They've helped Olivia and I's relationship to get closer, to at least be very, very civil to each other the best we can for at least 2 hours a night. But help us, to find God and financially help us. And we're just very, very grateful. So to have somebody like that enter our orbit, and you can tell, man, there's no bravado. It's just a man who's been stripped down to his core, and there is no ego. But you also know that if you want to go and get into that guy's crosshairs, you're going to be in the fight of your life. And that's the scary one. That's the guy that's the scary guy. That's the one you watch out for. Because when he flips that switch, it's dollars to donuts. He's going to take the fight to you. So great show, Liv.
Yeah.
What else you got? Anything else?
It was fantastic. It was great. I loved having him on, and definitely want to do it again.
Mr. Sauce donated $5. If you don't, well, sauce it. Yes, Matt has an affinity of making everything even. Oh, Sauce, you got one upped. We've got multiple people going head to head because JD Stillwell came in to make it an even 5. My impression of the saucy one. JD was late just by $5. Chris is on here. You were watching it. You slow rolling some
didn't
bitch.
Say anything in chat, Chris?
You wank. Toronto gets the wanker of the night.
Oh my God. I have to say something. So Last night, I'm at Ethan's baseball game. So on Wednesdays, Hayden does donations. And she's calling me and she's like, okay, I know some people have to be anonymous. Who's anonymous? I know some people have nicknames. What am I? And then she calls me and she goes, Matt, how? And I was like, oh my gosh. How? And I'm like, just put sauce, Mr. Sauce. And she goes, what? I'm not putting Mr. I'm like, just put Mr. Sauce or Hollandaise. She goes, I'll put Mr. Sauce. I can't spell Hollandaise.
Spell Hollandaise.
I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. Just go with that one. But I thought that was pretty funny.
It's really cool to see Tonto in here. And yeah, dude, I just love this job. Like, I love doing this. I love talking to people. I collect people's experiences. And man, the thing is when I started pulling the threads on Jeremy, it was one of the easiest dossiers I've ever created because he knows a lot of people and he's influential in the community. It's incredible when you find true warriors and their influence. It's just lists and lists and lists. The fact that the guy doesn't even know that he has a bronze star is ridiculous. I don't know. It was a great thing. So you guys got some good people working in your circle, and Tonto, we're going to make it out to Kansas here shortly, and we got to get a bottle of Tonto vodka to put behind Olivia.
Just send us the bottle and we'll put something in it because
you guys make yellow vodka, don't you? Because I'll fill it up.
Or when we go out to Kansas, we'll just bring it back with us in our car.
Yeah.
Or we're not going to drive.
I'm not driving across.
Okay, so we're just going to have to drink it there and bring the empty
bottle.
I
would rather volunteer for a double vasectomy than drive across Kansas. Can I just say that? Bubba's birthday? Happy birthday, Bubba.
What? Bubba's birthday?
It's Bubba's birthday.
Well, hey, still point. We're still waiting for that birthday.
Should we honor him with the Army hymn? So let's. It's in the Air Force, sweetie.
I know that, but I don't know any of them because I am not a veteran.
All right. Maria says, love you, Matt and Olivia. I am blessed. I found your show. I tune in every day and miss you on weekends. I love the dumps. Here's the thing. We are either going to introduce a morning show or a Saturday show. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think one of the two. Morning show, we've tried it in the past, but possibly a Saturday show as well. We're thinking about some stuff. We've got to also play live replays in the morning. I'm going to set them up on 10 a.m. to automatically replay the show, which is something I can do as well. But either way, good night, everybody. Listen, thanks for watching. We love you guys. Watch hockey. Go watch some hockey. Go take care of yourselves. Go watch some basketball. If that's your thing.
Don't misgender the hymns.
Yes. And Bubba, happy birthday, brother. You're a good friend to the show. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Everyone have a wonderful night.
Yes,
we'll see you guys.
I'm checking hockey scores right now.
See you Friday.
Night,
Tomorrow's Red Friday, and we will see you then. Good night, everybody. Thank you for everything. Jeremy, we love you guys. Tonto, you too. Barry, Shelley, everybody love you. Thanks. Bye.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me
Show.
Whoa,
wait a second.
Your hosts,
Wait a second.
Matt, Leeroy, Amy.
Wait a second. Hold the phone.
What?
Hold on. Holy shit. Are we there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Do I need to
God, it's me, Margaret. Hello? Also want to say happy birthday. We apologize. We missed this. To Sherilyn. Sherilyn, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
68 years young. Happy birthday. And Ethan just went 6'8".
Is that the new 6'7"?
No, it's not. Okay, listen, happy birthday, Sherilyn and Bubba. Sorry we missed it. And that's pretty much it. God bless. See you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye.
There you go.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree, Just don't unfriend me.